The woman who knew too much. In the peaceful town of Oloiri, life takes an unexpected turn when a mysterious woman named Morayo arrives, carrying a red book and an unsettling ability to know everyone's secrets. Beautiful, graceful, and unnervingly insightful, she greets strangers by name and exposes hidden truths, from missing goat meat pots to extramarital affairs, leaving the townspeople both amazed and uneasy. As her revelations grow bolder, admiration turns to fear. The town's self-proclaimed gossip queen, Mama Ronki, feels threatened and tries to investigate Morayo's source of knowledge. Despite attempts to confront or discredit her, Morayo simply insists she is here to clean wounds with truth. Eventually, the town elders decide to socially isolate her. Morayo quietly leaves days later, leaving behind a note that reads, "A town that hides truth will always remain sick. But I understand. Healing is painful." Her red book, found abandoned, is discovered to be empty. Her departure sparks reflection. Though feared, Morayo's presence forces Oloiri to begin healing from within, learning that truth, however uncomfortable, can free a community. The gossip spirit might be gone, but her impact lingers as a lasting mirror on honesty, shame, and change. If you had come to Oloiri 2 years ago, you'd think it was just another sleepy town. A place where the loudest thing in the morning was Mama, Kichi's frying pan, and the late-night entertainment was Baba Cole's transistor radio. But that was before she came. Before Morayo. I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was a Monday. Sun was shining like it had something to prove. People were doing what they always do. Children dragging their sandals to school. Keek drivers pressing their horns like they were typing a complaint letter with them. Then she appeared. Tall, light-skinned. Pretty, yes, but not the kind of pretty that caused problems. Her beauty was balanced. She wore a neat red wrapper with a blouse that hugged her, like it was sewn directly on her skin. Her hair was packed in a bun, and she carried a thick red diary under her arm. Nobody knew her, yet she greeted everyone by name. "Good morning, Mama Ifeoma. I like how you trimmed your garden." "Good morning, Baba Jide. Your goat is limping. Check the back leg." That's when we all paused. How did she know these things? Mama Ifeoma hadn't been outside since last week. Baba Jide's goat had only started limping that morning. Some people said maybe she grew up here and left when she was young. Others said she was just a sharp observer. But something didn't sit right with me. By the end of the week, people started calling her radio without antenna. She knew too much. Way too much. The turning point. It was on the Thursday of the following week when things took a sharp turn. Mama Coco's pot of ogufe, goat meat, went missing. Not the meat, the entire pot. She shouted and cursed until her throat dried. While people gathered and speculated, Morayo just walked past, flipping her red book open casually. "It's behind the old generator shed near the primary school," she said. Mama Coco ran there, and lo and behold, there it was. Pot, meat, even the spoon she forgot inside. People cheered. Someone called her prophetess. Another whispered, "Detective?" But me, I watched. And I began to worry. Unmasking Morayo, the person who took it personal was Mama Ronki, the self-declared queen of Oloiri gossip. You see, she wasn't used to competition. Morayo wasn't just knowing people's secrets, she was sharing them, openly. One evening, Mama Ronki stormed into my compound, waving her hands like she was dancing Fuji. "Pa Musa, I don't know what spirit is backing this woman, but she's about to disgrace this town." I sipped my bitter leaf tea. "Then investigate her." "I will," she said. That night she followed Morayo. Not for long, but just long enough to see her standing alone behind the uncompleted church building. According to Mama Ronke, the woman stood still for 10 minutes, just listening. And then she wrote in her book and left. A town on edge. Soon people were uneasy. She predicted a breakup before it happened. She told a trader that her husband was keeping another family in Sagamu, and it turned out true. She warned a teacher about a boy planning to stab someone after class. She didn't ask questions. She didn't search. She just knew. Some folks loved her. They called her a blessing. Others kept their doors shut when she passed. I myself stopped playing Io under the mango tree. It's not every day you live among a walking secret revealer. The confrontation. Things boiled over the day she told the Reverend's wife, in front of the Women's Fellowship, that the Reverend had fathered a child in Benin 20 years ago. That day, Mama Ronki stood up. Enough is enough. Who sent you? Morayo looked up from her book. Nobody sent me. But truth has no expiry date. The town council called an emergency meeting. It was the first time in history that men and women sat together in the same gathering. Without fighting over chair positions, they asked her calmly, Morayo, what is your mission here? She closed her book gently and said, I'm not here to destroy. I'm here to clean wounds. You don't heal what you keep hiding. It silenced the room. But silence doesn't always mean agreement. The decision. The elders debated. Should they chase her away? She's not evil, one man said. She's just inconvenient. Another said, maybe God sent her to help us clean house. But the majority feared her. So they made a quiet decision. Nobody would speak to her again. No greetings, no questions, no acknowledgement. The next morning, she came to her usual seat beside Mama Kichi's Akara stand. Nobody said a word. The children avoided her. Even the madman who normally danced near the junction crossed the road when he saw her. Morayo looked around. Her smile was gone. She sat for hours, then left. The departure. 3 days later, she left town. No warning, no goodbye. Just a folded note left under her seat at the kiosk. It said, a town that hides truth will always remain sick. But I understand. Healing is painful. That was all. And just like that, she vanished. Epilogue, what remained. People say she was a spirit. Some say she was just a gifted woman with a painful past. But me, I think Morayo was a mirror many of us weren't ready to look into. The red book? It was found under her seat, blank. Every single page, not one word written. But the lessons? Those stayed. We learned to talk to each other more. We stopped hiding every scratch and scar like shame. Even Mama Ronke now hosts a weekly circle for women to talk without judgment. Sometimes truth comes like thunder. Sometimes it walks in wearing red, greeting everyone by name.